Hello everyone, I'm Tiara Fair, your Impact 365 host. Impact 365 is a production of United Way of Delaware in partnership with DETV. In this ongoing series, we'll see how United Way of Delaware and its partners make a positive impact across the state. We'll talk with old friends and we'll make some new ones too. We'll see what's working well, and you're important in this process. If you have show ideas, we want to hear from you. Email us at the address on your screen right now. Today on Impact 365, we will talk about the Delaware Racial Justice Collaborative and its commitment to minority entrepreneurs in Delaware through the Minority Small Business Program. We'll see how inequities are often built into the way business works, how minority entrepreneurs overcome these barriers, and ways minorities can get and stay on the road to success. But first, I'm joined with a special co-host, Clarence Ray Parker. Say hi to the people, Ray.
Thanks, Tiara. Hi, everyone. I'm a minority small business coach with the United Way of Delaware in Barclays, and let me just say I'm just so excited about the guests that we have here today. I plan on learning some great things, so I'm looking forward to it. But before we get to our guests, we have a short video.
Why aren't more people of color entrepreneurs? I think if we start to ask the question why and really dig into the reasons, then we can really start to tackle and the real work can begin.
Entrepreneurship is the way to economic freedom. Someone can hate you as much as they want, but it doesn't matter. Someone can hate you because you're black, but you can only be victimized if you're poor.
The reason Barclays has invested so much in changing the narrative for small business owners is because it's woven into the fabric of Barclays. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is a part of the mission of the bank. We have a global initiative to create 200,000 plus jobs globally. Supporting minority business owners is a part of that.
The Delaware Racial Justice Collaborative gives people a way to start making change in their community. And whether you're passionate about wealth creation or education or public policy, there's a place for you to get involved. And ultimately, we need more people to get involved.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. As you can see from the video, there are a lot of structural inequities that are surrounding our minority small businesses. And today we are going to talk to two amazing individuals who are going to really help us to paint the picture of the problem. We're going to talk to Ayanna Khan and Raina Allen. So I know that I cannot do either of you ladies justice. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us all the magnificent things about you.
Well, my name is Ayanna Khan, and I am the founder, president, CEO of the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, which is a newly formed Chamber of Commerce with a minority focus. We are all inclusive, however, we're very intentional about the education and resources to our minority small business owners. Our main objective is education and just getting them the resources that they need to survive and thrive throughout the pandemic and beyond.
Beautiful. Raina, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Raina. I'm a Leo, originally from Delaware. I'm director of the Delaware Racial Justice Collaborative, and that's powered by the United Way. And I'm really excited to be able to talk about race and structural inequities and the problems that exist in Delaware, because for far too long, it was just taboo. I mean, we would talk about things and say, we would talk about things about race and sometimes whisper, you know, I went to this store and this lady was just, I'm sorry, did you just whisper white? Like, are we still doing that? So if we are not able to kind of clearly and in full-throated ways talk casually about race, then imagine how challenging it is when you talk about structures that continue to disenfranchise people of color which is largely only based on the color of their skin. I mean, there's lots and lots of research that will show race is a social construct, and it's just something that people use to deny access to fully operationalize their citizenship. I mean, I know that's a very academic term, but it really means letting people fully participate in the economy. And in terms of the DRJC, and the reason we're here now, we talk about wealth creation and entrepreneurship, supporting and sustaining minority businesses. Why is that important? It's important because we've been locked out of those opportunities for far too long, and only because of the color of our skin. So it's not that we did anything wrong. It's just we happen to look a different way. And that is not fair, it's not just, and it's not what this country was founded on. But I'm super excited because I'm hopeful. I see more people jumping into the movement and willing to take off their privilege, put down their privilege, fight for the rights of others that they don't know, just because it's the right thing to do. So it's an exciting time for me, and we need more members. So please join the Delaware Racial Justice Collaborative.
Shameless plug, I love it. Ayanna, so Raina spoke a little bit about the structural inequities. Because you founded the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, can you tell us a little bit about some of the structural inequities that you have seen in Black and minority businesses in Delaware?
Well, the state of Delaware has not been inclusive and equitable. I'm just going to say that. Because in order to do so, and in order to help the Black businesses and the minority businesses in our state, we have to identify who they are. And that data is not currently collected at all in the state. The state have been doing things to become more equitable, but we need to really discuss and capture the data in the state for those businesses, identify those businesses so we know the resources that are needed for these businesses.
And it's really interesting that all branches of government, well, not all, but at least the city, the county, and the state are currently undergoing procurement disparity studies around the areas of procurement. And it's interesting that they're doing it all at the same time. So the good thing for us, and I think the ways that we will benefit, is that they're examining, they're taking stock of what they're doing and ways to make it more equitable. And for us, hopefully that will mean that more minority businesses are able to access these contracts, which are multi-million-dollar contracts. And the number of minority businesses that currently have them are just really small.
Yeah, I mean, minority businesses are the largest demographic of growing entrepreneurs in our country and in our state. We're seeing that we are coming back, post-pandemic, while still in the pandemic, of course, but we're coming back more empowered, more educated. We're starting our businesses. We're building generational wealth for our families. However, there's 83% of minority businesses, specifically Black businesses, that cannot get a startup loan, access to capital, the education that they need. They're not getting the resources to grow. So we need to address that.
What are 2 to 3 things that a minority small business owner right now can do to get on the road to success? Because we talked a little bit about the inequities. We talked about some of the issues that they're facing, including lack of access to capital, lack of the same supports as their counterparts are receiving, and even lack of just data and statistics in general. What are 2 of the things? What's the road to hope? What are 2 to 3 things that we can do to kind of turn that trajectory around?
Well, these businesses live and support the communities that they live in, right? So we need them to get out there and talk to the elected officials, get involved in those processes and voting, and just basically organizing to get our elected officials to do what they need to do to support their communities. I would say that's number one for me, because we're putting people in office that doesn't have the same needs and understand the challenges that we're facing. So we need folks that are definitely in office that are not just throwing out the buzzwords of diversity, equity, and inclusion, but actually practicing those, behaviors. So I would say that's the number one for me. Also, just getting mentors and peer support is a huge component of being a successful business, supporting each other. And the third one will probably be
join the Black Chamber and
definitely
Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, you're hired. Yes, definitely joining the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce at debcc.org. There is different tiers of membership for everyone, and we just need to come together and support.
Mm-hmm.
Raina, what is a role that the majority...
Join the DRJC.
Yeah. But
Yes.
really, what's the role that just community members can do? So, small businesses, there are resources out there for you. Community members, if you don't own a business, if you, but you probably know somebody who does, what can they do?
Everyone has a role to play. And while I have mentioned the DRJC, it's because I believe in what we're doing. And it's running through my veins. This is our chance to talk about race. And within the DRJC, we have the Stand By Me Minority Business Initiative, and we'll be opening up the opportunity for new businesses to apply to become a part of this capacity building program. And it's really a game changer. So there's the Stand By Me Minority Business Initiative. Join the DRJC. We're engaged in advocacy. Join the Black Chamber, because absolutely we need to support each other, and the Chamber can provide the networking and the coaching and the mentoring and also the advocacy and that community. Community is so important. And with entrepreneurs, when it gets hard, you want to know you're not the only one. You want to know it's not just you, and can I really make it? It's really hard today. What's on the horizon? When you have a group of people who are in a similar condition, then someone else who really knows your struggle and has walked it can offer you that path forward that you may not have seen. And then so for folks who aren't necessarily, maybe you're not interested in joining an advocacy organization like ours, support minority businesses.
Yes.
Find out what's out there. Intentionally look for a Black plumber or a Latino contractor. If you don't know where to look, there are directories. You can call the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm sure they'd be happy to connect you to them. We have an excellent vocational and technical school network in Delaware. They can connect you, whether it's at Howard High, Del Castle, St. George's. We have kids who are kids because I'm not young anymore. So, but we have young adults who have graduated from high school, have started their own businesses, and we want to support them. So there are lots of things that people can do wherever they are, and we encourage you just, if you're not active, do something. Take that step. Join an organization, support a business, and when you do that, share the experience with your friends and encourage them to do the same.
Yeah, it takes a village to grow a business. It really does. It takes a community.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Ladies, we are actually out of time. It's so crazy. That went so fast,
It
right?
did.
I cannot say thank you enough for being here. Thank you for your work with the Delaware Racial Justice Collaborative, with the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, trailblazing. I love it. Team, you heard it right here that there are many ways for you to get involved. Just make sure that you get involved in supporting minority small businesses in Delaware, minority businesses, period, whether they're big or small, right? But minority small businesses, period, here in Delaware. We want to thank you all so much for watching this segment. The next segment, we are gonna actually have a minority small business owner on, and so we can't wait to interview him, learn more about him and his business and how he has been able to use the minority small business program to elevate and make sure that his business is thriving. So we'll be right back after these messages.
You see, my blackness, they can't wipe off. When you're born black, it's like they nail you to a cross. Born enslaved, we just trying to reach north, only to be greeted by these racist old courts. See, my history was hidden in the schools. Graduated college, now we educated fools. Talk to work for others, man, we got it all confused. People say it's hatred when they hear me drop jewels. Like, the black woman was first, she's a mother. Eve of the earth, never cursed, we discovered that if we act like fam, treat a brother like a brother, we can save self and start building for each other. Huh? We can make the ghetto into a palace for us. All we need is love, commitment, healing, and trust. Is that asking too much? And if not, let's link. One aim, one chain, one people, one link. Who were stolen from Africa, from human traffickers, humiliated and massacred on a ship mistaken for passengers. They trapping your soul for that voyage across that ocean. I guess they expected our spirits to be broken, provoking the deity within us. Call us sinners when we practice African rituals. Say my history's mythical, never. I rep for the families they severed, separated trees they decorated with the decimated remnants. We are the descendants of those souls clothed in oppression. This life is like a movie. I feel like I'm on a bunk of my cell making a weapon. Feel threatened when I question your belief. System religion is like a prison for those that are asleep. Pull back the sheets and awaken your inner hearing. Your spirit's being bartered when money is disappearing from the face of the earth. A man taking his last breath symbolizes a birth.
As a minority business owner, certain challenges I've faced include expanding and scaling. As a one-person shop, it has been difficult to do everything. I found out about United Way's Stand By Me Minority Business Program through the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce. The experience with the Minority Small Business Program has been incredible. I have a tremendous business coach, Steve Johnson, who has helped me in many different ways. It has helped me grow my business and grow my mindset.
Hi everyone, we are back. I really enjoyed our last interview with Raina Allen and Ayana Khan. What about you? How did you
I thought it was great. I thought they provided a lot of good information, resources, and insights for minority small businesses, and definitely have organizations and programs that they can definitely take advantage of and benefit from. So I'm very excited.
You know, speaking of benefiting from some of the resources that we have, the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce is actually how our next guest found out about the Stand By Me Minority Small Business Program.
Yes.
So without further ado, drum roll please. Hi, Kari, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Before we start with anything else, we have to first ask, tell us about your business, tell us about who you are.
Sure. Kari DeWitt, I'm president of Mountaineer Logistics. We are a purpose-driven company. We provide courier, distribution, and freight management services. We're a Delaware-based company right here. We were founded in 2019. We do everything, deliver everything from life-saving medicine to t-shirts to your local stores.
All right, definitely use you.
All right, please do.
We need you. Kari, so what has the Minority Small Business Program done for you?
The Minority Small Business Program has been great for me. Really provided a lot of good services for myself, provided me with ongoing support, really taken my focus from the daily operations to business development and growth. It's also provided me a lot of different opportunities to expand my business network and other co-branding opportunities. Right within my own cohort, there's another bakery, there's an embroidery company, so a lot of different opportunities for me to grow and network.
That's awesome.
Gentlemen, tell us, both of you, tell us kind of what is the purpose of the Minority Small Business Program for everybody who's listening? Why did we create that? When it started?
So on the onset, the Minority Small Business Program exists to basically give entrepreneurs like yourself just the opportunity to have access to the education, right? The information, the resources needed to help you not just sustain your business, but actually grow it.
Yep.
Instead of going from just being a solopreneur or a mom and pop shop, and just take you to be, able to enterprise and function for the long haul. So that's basically the gist of it. And you get one-to-one coaching. The best part is you get one-to-one coaching. So you don't have, we're not going to give you the information and let you go, right? We're going to work with you step by step to get you through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other best parts is free. So definitely free financial coaching, business support. I've gotten a lot from my business coach, Steve Johnson. I know Ray's a great business coach as well. So a lot of great support, and I'm enjoying the program a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Why do you think that it's so essential for other businesses to join programs like this and really take advantage of these resources?
I think really it gives you, like I said, a lot of support. It really helps you with your mindset in terms of growth. I think the program is really necessary. I think small businesses like myself, the solopreneurs, we face a lot of challenges. Myself coming out of a corporate environment, I've always wanted to have my own business, wanted to be an entrepreneur, but you really don't know exactly what you're going to get into until you get into it.
Right.
Not something you really study at school. So having support, having wise counsel, having good advisors around, I think is just key to any part of life, but especially as you start your new business.
Absolutely.
What is one thing that really changed because of the Minority Small Business Program? Meaning, like, what's one thing that you were just like really struggling with, but now you kind of have a better handle on it?
I would say sales. Sales. My business coach has really helped me focus on sales and the importance of it. Being able to really hone in on business development, not just, again, working on that day-to-day. You get stuck in kind of that, I need to keep the lights on. I think it's just important to make the lights brighter. So really kind of growing my mindset around sales and giving it a real good focus is important.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And Kari, last question. What is an early insight you've gained about managing your company by being a part of the Minority Small Business Program?
Yeah, my coach really has helped me structure my week and schedule my week. So in addition to those day-to-day operations, I also set a time for sales calls, research, training, but then also make sure I get the work-life balance. So I make sure I'm only limiting my work day to a certain amount of hours, which is tough. Also getting my rest and getting my exercise so I have the energy and the health to continue on.
If you could say one thing to entrepreneurs out there, what would you just tell, what piece of advice would you give them right now to help them to thrive?
Keep moving, keep going forward, believe, definitely get your advisors, join programs like the Minority Small Business Program. It's a really important program, really necessary. As we know, entrepreneurs are really vital to our economy and vital to our communities. However, minority businesses face a lot of larger barriers than non-minority communities and non-minority companies. For example, minorities are less likely to get loans. And when they do get loans, they're either at lesser amounts or at higher interest rates. So making sure that you have good people around you, you get your mentors, get good coaches, you join Minority Small Business Program, the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, those are really helpful.
Absolutely.
Kari, you spoke a little bit about how you came from corporate to entrepreneur life. Tell us about that transition and what that looked like. What made you make that jump?
Good question. Interesting answer. The transition was kind of easy, kind of tough. I have always wanted to be an entrepreneur, always had that entrepreneurial spirit, kind of runs in my family. I worked in banking like most Delawareans for over 20 years, was actually laid off, gave a severance. So it actually kind of forced me into my destiny, but I was extremely happy it happened. I have a background in finance. I've done financial analysis all my life. So I always had that finance background and the mindset to be an entrepreneur. But once you get into the business, you have to cover everything. So it's not just the finance, it's the marketing, administration, the day-to-day grind. So again, having a coach and having somebody to help walk you through that is so important.
How did you pick your business? How did you pick, what made you say, this is the business I want to do?
Yeah, so at the time I was actually looking at a number of different franchises, and I actually, part of my business is wholesale food distribution. So I chose a franchise called Fruitful. It's a healthy frozen fruit bar. Like I mentioned, I'm a purpose-driven company, so one of the things I really promote and like is health. So I picked this frozen fruit bar, and I'm in a number of different places throughout Delaware, Willie's Farms, the Chase Field House, Asian Supermarket, a number of different places. But as I looked at the business and I looked at logistics, it was just booming. It was such an opportunity to transport and deliver different items. And the industry is huge, a $6 trillion industry. So getting into that just made sense, gave me the ability to grow my business and run a business. So I'm excited about the future.
All right. And are you leveraging some of that experience you gained in banking? You talked about financial analysis and things like that. How are you leveraging that into your business and running your company better?
Yeah, got a lot of great experience and lessons from the banking world and from the corporate world. Being able to understand numbers obviously is vital to a business, so that part kind of comes easy to me. I'd say the most important thing though I learned is just the impact that a company can make, not just in a consumer's life, but in the community. So one of the banks I work for donates over $100 million to local communities across the world. That's something I want to do. I want to donate millions upon millions to our local communities. So just having that vision, having that drive, the attention to detail, I think those are the key things that I've really taken away.
Kari, I have no doubt that you will definitely be able to give millions, hundreds of millions to people all across the world. Thank you so much. We wish you so much success with your business. Right now, that wraps up our first episode of Impact 365. In upcoming episodes, we'll look at how we're helping children in underserved communities become lifelong readers, how families can move from financial crisis to financial stability, and how help in a crisis is often just a phone call away, and so much more. We're also planning at least one episode in Spanish. Impact 365, television with a positive impact. Brought to you by United Way of Delaware.